everybody, and welcome to Chairman of the Board. Today I'm going to be taking a look at High Society, which is a game by Reiner Knizia. It's an auction game for 3 to 5 players, and by the box it takes 20 minutes to play, but by my own experience it takes even quicker than that. In this game you are going to be a kind of a social elite rich person trying to show off as much as you can by purchasing all these lavish items, but without trying to go broke in the process. So it's a game with a really cool twist to it. I'm going to show you how it plays, and then I'll come back and give my thoughts. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so before I get started on how to play, I'm just going to show you the components that come with this game. You're going to get 5 sets of these money cards. They range from 1,000 francs all the way up to 25,000 francs. And each player's is the same, just a different colour. And you're going to be bidding for these luxury cards. And they range from 1 to 10. And these are actually going to be your points at the end of the game. And the items that you're bidding for. And as you can see by the artwork, it is absolutely gorgeous. Brilliant artwork that completely fits the theme of the game. I absolutely love it. So you've got 10 of those standard luxury cards. Then you've got 3 of these cards that double your score, and 3 of these negative cards. And again, the artwork is absolutely brilliant. The game is going to end as soon as 3 of these dark cards, the ones with these dark borders, are revealed from the deck. So let's take a quick look at these negative cards. This one here, if you end up taking this one, you're going to lose one of your luxury cards of your choice. This one here, you're going to lose 5 points at the end of the game. And this one here, your score is going to be halved at the end of the game. So let's show you how you play. Okay, so once you've shuffled all the cards together, you're going to reveal the top card of the deck. Here we have a 2 card, the champagne card. And then a randomly determined first player is going to bid on that card using their money cards. And I should say these cards are going to be completely secret from the other players, so they don't know what you've spent and what you haven't spent. So let's say this player here bids 3 to take this 2 champagne card. Then the next player can either raise that or pass. Let's say he raises it to a 4. So at the moment, this player is winning. Then this player decides that he doesn't want that card, so he ends up passing. And then this player, so that means he's completely out of this round. Then this player puts another 2 down. Note that you cannot get change from what you've put down already. So you can only ever add cards that you've got in your hand, meaning you have to really manage your hand quite carefully, because you might have to bid loads more than you want to in order to raise the former bid, if that makes sense. So then, let's say this player bid 5, and then this player doesn't want this card because he doesn't want to pay any more than 5 to take it. So in this case, this player is going to take all his money back to his hand, and the player who won it is going to put this face down and take the card and put it face up in front of him. So your current points are always on display to the other players, but the money you've spent is secret. And then this is going to continue. Let's say the next card is an 8, so that's a particularly good one because the cards range from 1 to 10. The player who won the last bid does start this bid. So let's say he puts a 10 down. The next player puts he puts a 13 down by using these 3 cards. And the next player, I don't know, let's say he puts 14 down by putting these 3 down. Then this player wants to pass, so again he takes the money because he didn't win, he takes the money back to his hand. This player passes as well, takes the money back to his hand. This player won the bid, so he pays all that money and takes the card and puts it in front of him. This is going to continue. I'm going to show you some different cards here. This one here doubles your current points. So if this player won, he would end up on 4 points, and this player would be 16 points. So these are particularly good. Again, the bidding is going to be the same. Winning bid is going to pay all their money, and losing bids are going to get their money back. But these negative cards here, such as this Scandal card, which halves your points at the end of the game, the auctions work in a slightly different way because you are going to be bidding not to take it. So let's give you an example here. Let's say this player bids 10 to not take the card. The next player bids 15. The next player doesn't want to raise any more than that, so he ends up taking it to his, or for his endgame points. But in this case, the players who didn't win the auction do still pay their money. So they are going to be discarding that money at the end. Sorry, they're not going to have that money at the end of the game. And that's going to continue until the fourth of these dark cards is revealed, where the game ends instantly. But the cool twist of the game is the player with the least amount of money by the time that card is revealed is instantly disqualified from winning the game. So you've got to be really careful about what you've bid and what other players have bid. And that's how you play High Society. The player with the most, obviously the player with the most points at the end of the game wins. Okay, so let me start off by saying that I am a big fan of auctions in general in games. It's one of my favourite mechanisms. But the thing is, for me, now at this point now I've got quite a big collection of games, I'm always looking for something different. And to me, that twist of not only are you trying to get the most points, but you would automatically be disqualified if you've spent the most money. That is so intriguing to me, and it works like a dream. It adds so many more layers to the decisions you have to make. The game is so quick. It's rapid fire. It takes about 10 minutes. As I touched on in the intro, it takes 20 minutes according to the box, and it doesn't take that long at all. But for such a quick game, the level of decisions you have to make is really, really good. Some really painful decisions as you're trying to tally up how much other players are spending, because the money they've spent is secret, so you do have to kind of memorize how much they're spending, how much you're willing to bid on these future auctions. Very, very interesting. For a game that is, I think it's in the 90s this was first released. The version I have here is the Osprey Games version, which is absolutely wonderfully produced. I love the artwork, as I mentioned earlier. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it really does bolster the theme of the game really, really well. Yeah, as I said, this game is actually from the 90s, and it does feel really fresh now. It does kind of have that evergreen feel to it, because, as I said, it's so quick, but still so engaging and so rich of tough decisions, which are some of the most important things to me in games. I need to feel like my decisions do matter, and I certainly do feel like that with High Society. Every bid is very meticulous. You have to very carefully consider how much you are putting down, and the fact that you can't get any change from the card you're putting down does affect the game drastically, because if I only want to raise the bid by maybe 1,000 francs, but the next lowest card I have is 4,000 francs, then that is going to affect the game. So managing your cards is a big factor here. The balance of the game is fantastic. I love the fact that the winners of the bids do start the next bid. So you really do kind of give other players a chance to gauge their bids a bit more effectively. And the fact that running up bids here is a big, big factor in the game. I really enjoy that, because you are trying to get other players to spend as much money as possible. But you've got to be careful in the process, because if you're running it up just for the sake of it, then it can come back and bite you in the ass, because you're going to spend a lot more money than you want to. Really, really good. Just the idea here of trying to live a lavish lifestyle by buying all these cards, but not trying to go broke in the process. That idea alone does mesh with this idea of these social elites, these really snobby, rich people. It just works so well, and just for a game that is pretty abstract in general, that idea does fit with the mechanics of the game really, really well. Fantastic uptime here. You're never going to have an opportunity to get bored. Again, wonderfully produced, absolutely gorgeous. This new version by Osprey Games is just wonderful. It takes up hardly any space on your shelf. You can teach this to absolutely anybody. The idea of those two different auctions, one being a standard auction and one being that auction not to take the negative cards. It does keep it fresh, it keeps you on your toes, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great game. One that I can see, I don't know, keep getting reprints for the foreseeable future. Takes a second to set up, a second to pack away, and again, it's quick, so quick, like an ideal filler. If you like games like For Sale, which is one of my personal favourite filler games ever, you're going to really enjoy this because it's got that twist to it, that something that makes it unique. And yeah, High Society does that really, really well. The interaction between the players is really interesting because, as I said, that running people's bids up to try and make them spend just more than you so that you can actually have a chance of winning the game. Absolutely fascinating. A really great game, very affordable, something unique about it, great components, looks wonderful. That's High Society by Osprey Games and Reiner Knizia. A great game, one that I highly recommend. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe to my channel and check out my other video reviews. For everyone else, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Chairman of the Board. Bye.